I will start by making sure my transmission's in neutral and my parking and trailer brakes are applied. I will press in the clutch and turn the key to the on position. As I do, I see the ABS light turn on then off, and I will now perform a safe start. As I start my engine, I see that my gauges are starting to rise toward normal levels. My oil temperature gauge is at normal level, and my water temperature is starting to rise toward normal levels. My battery is also charging above 14 volts, which is normal for this tractor. For all my tests today, I'll be using my primary air pressure gauge. That's this one right here. My first test is my lower warning alarm test. For this test, I will continuously pump down my brakes until light and buzzer comes on. This should happen between 55 and 75 psi. When the buzzer and light comes on, I'll give you a reading. Okay, my lower warning alarm and buzzer came on at 65 psi. Since it was within range, this test is successful. My second test is my cutout test. Cutout occurs when my air tanks are full and my needle stops rising. This must take place at 140 psi maximum, and it's already in progress. When the needle stops rising and I know cutout has occurred, I'll give you a reading. I will accelerate to speed up the process. Cutout has occurred at 127 psi. Since it did not reach 140, this test is also successful. My third test will be my cut-in test. Cut-in occurs when my tanks are running low and my needle starts to rise and my tanks start to refill. This must take place no lower than 100 psi. To check this, I will pump my brakes once, wait for 10 or 12 seconds to see if the needle starts to rise. If it does not, I will repeat the process. When the needle finally does start to rise, I'll give you a reading. I will repeat the process. Okay, cut-in has occurred at 105 psi exactly. Since it did not fall below 100, this test is also successful. Okay. Now for my fourth test, I must achieve cutout and fill my tanks before I do my fourth test. Okay, cutout has occurred. My fourth test is my applied leakage test. For this test, I will put my transmission in a low forward gear. I will turn off the engine, but then turn the key to the on position and release my parking and trailer brake. And I will apply my service brake. I will then wait for the needles to stabilize, and I'll give you a reading. I will then start my timer for 1 minute. After 1 minute, I'll give you a second reading, and I should not have lost more than 4 psi within that 1 minute for a combination vehicle such as this. Okay, the needle has stabilized at 89 psi. I'll start my minute. Okay, a minute is up and my gauge reads 85 psi. Since I did not lose more than 4 psi, this test is successful. My 5th test is my spring brake pop-out test. For this test, I will continuously pump the brakes until both my parking and trailer brakes pop out. This should occur between 20 and 45 psi. When each valve pops out, I'll give you a reading. Okay, both valves popped out at 35 psi. Since this was within range, this test is also successful. I will now perform a safe start to refill my air tanks. Both my brakes are applied. I'll put my transmission in neutral and start the engine. As I'm waiting for my tanks to refill, I will start a in-cab inspection. I will start with my fender and door mirrors. They are securely mounted with no bolts missing. They are not cracked or broken. They are clean, free of debris, and adjusted for me. I'll check my windshield wipers. My windshield wiper arms and blades are in good condition, no damage, working properly, and my washer fluid is also working properly. I'll check my windshield. It is not cracked or broken. It's clean, it's free of debris, and it has no illegal stickers. The rubber seal around my windshield is in good condition. It's intact. It's not leaking. And I'll check my visors. My visors are functioning properly. They're securely mounted with no screws or bolts missing. I'll check my dashboard. It's clean, free of debris. There's nothing that could obstruct my view in any way. I will check my dash lights and my gauges. All my gauges are working properly, rising toward normal levels. I'll check my headlights, my low beams, my high beams, my left turn signal, my right turn signal, and my four-way flashers are all working properly. I'll check my steering wheel. It's securely mounted, in good condition. It has no more than 2 inches or 10% of free play. My horns are working. My city horn, my country horn, both working properly. My windows roll up and down properly. I will check my brake valves. The handles of my parking brake and trailer brake are securely mounted, and neither valve is leaking. My trailer brake is working properly, the handle's secured, and it is not leaking. I'll check my heater and defroster to ensure it is working properly. My heater and defroster are working properly as well. I'll check my shifter. My high-low selector is working properly, it's not leaking. My shift tower is not bent, cracked, or broken, it's in good condition. And my rubber boot is secure from the shift tower to the floor. It has no rips or tears, it's in good condition. My floor is clean and free of debris. There's nothing that can roll under my pedals. And my pedals, my accelerator pedal is securely mounted, working properly. My service brake is also working properly, securely mounted. And my clutch. My clutch has no more than 2 inches of free play and is working properly. I have safety equipment. I have a properly rated fire extinguisher. It's fully charged and it's been serviced within 1 year. It's securely strapped to the floor next to my seat. I have 3 red reflective triangles in my jockey box, along with 1 spare fuse for each fuse used in this truck. My seat frame is securely bolted to the floor with no bolts missing, and my seat cushion is securely bolted to the seat frame, and my seat is adjusted for me. My seat belt is securely bolted to the seat frame and to the cab. My latch is locked in place in good condition. My seat belt material has no cuts or frays or excessive wear. It's in good working condition. Okay, for my final test is my tug test. I will put the transmission in a low forward gear. I'll release my parking brake, leaving my trailer brake on. I'll release the clutch slightly so that I tug forward to ensure that my trailer brake is holding us back. Trailer brake is working properly. Now I'll apply my parking brake, release my trailer brake, this time checking to see if my parking brake is holding us back and working properly. Parking brake is working as well. I will now release both brakes, drive forward slowly to to ensure that my service brake pedal is working and will hold us back. Service brake pedal is holding us back as well. Lower warning, cut out, cut in, applied leakage, spring rib pop out, and tug. This concludes my brake test.